Good morning. It's Saturday the 21st of March and we have an additional yoga student here today for this morning's session.
Hi everyone.
This is Bear. So those of you who know us, you'll have met him already. Those of you who are just watching this online, he's my husband and we're self-isolating together and we have a mild case of COVID-19. This morning yoga has been really helping us. So we're going to start with some of the things that we've done on my previous videos with the arms. So starting with Bear's starting with a calf stretch against the wall, and now we're going to do some arm swings. So the shoulders get tight, sitting around all day, sitting on a computer or... Ow!
Sorry.
We're just not using them enough. So in one of the other, I think it's on the 18th, March the 18th video, I do a longer Dao Yin session with the tapping up the arms. So we'll just do that briefly today. If you want to know more, then watch March the 18th. So we're coming up the insides of the arms, across the shoulders, across the collarbones, down the outside with the other hand, up the inside, across the collarbones, change hands, down the outside, and you're sort of clapping quite firmly. So we might normally do this a few more times, but we're going to do another movement now. So I'm going to turn around so you can see me, and this is where you have little fists with your hands and you thump up the lower back of the waist. You turn around there. And then you'll find your back ribs with your little fists. You've got your kidneys there, coming around to the sides. You've got your spleen on the left and your liver on the right, and your lungs reach all the way down here, coming round to the sides of your ribs now. And then you'll need to move your hands, so you're either using your knuckles or your fingertips. So I've just started doing this fingertip one, which is quite nice, around the bottoms of the fronts of your lungs, and then up the centre of your chest, up your breastbone, and then back and forth across your collarbone, so you get all those lymph nodes. We want to get the lymphatic system really working. And then up the sides of the neck, also lymph nodes. Into those jaw muscles. Gently over the temples, forehead, top of the head, down the back of the head, back of the neck, tops of the shoulders, and then round to the front. So all these very, very rich area of lymph nodes in the armpits, and then turning into little fists again, a little bit of kind of chimp kind of thing, and then into your side ribs, back around your liver and spleen, kidneys, lower back, and we've arrived where we started. So we'll do that a couple more times, slightly faster this time. So you get the kind of the hang of the movement, the pattern, the routes that your hands are taking around the body. It's the collarbones, neck, jaw,
Gently.
top of the head, back of the neck, shoulders, armpits, side ribs. This really helps me with, so I've got some kind of long-term lung condition, but I don't know what it is, asthma, something. Anyway, I cough a lot and it's productive and I get tight chested, and this really helps me to clear my lungs every morning. I've had it for 2 or 3 years. It's a little bit worse with the COVID-19, but nothing to call the doctor out over. Are we on? This is number 3, I think we're on now. Into the armpits, side ribs. Do you like this, Bear?
I do, yeah.
How does it make you feel?
Yeah, that's good.
It wakes you up a bit?
Yeah, definitely wakes me up, yeah.
Okay, so that can be quite hard work for the arms, so let's just shake out the arms again. And then a couple of shoulder rolls. Nice and slow, up and back and down. Collarbones coming towards each other, up, spreading, down, and then twice the other direction. Back and up. There we go. Waking Bear up. Back and up and down. Okay, so that's a little bit of a warm-up, so that's a Qigong type thing, the part of the Dao Yin, it's a Qigong thing, which I don't know much about, but I love doing that. So we're going to go into a bit more yoga stuff, so you step back a little bit so everyone can see your feet there, and then we don't crash into each other. And we're going to very slowly raise the arms with the palms going upward. We're leaving our feet on the ground, so your feet stay really well rooted as the arms come up. Shoulders are soft and dropping, and then bringing the palms together and lowering the hands down. Your shoulders are still dropping, palms are touching lightly, and then coming down to the sort of the lower part of your chest. So I can see in the screen here that our forearms are horizontal, so we're not up here, we're down here, and we're going to do that with the breath. So leaving your feet on the ground, lower your hands down, and then starting to inhale very slowly, smoothly, opening, reaching the top of the inhale, and then starting to exhale smoothly, not all at once. Shoulders dropping. Breathing in the time it takes your arms to get to the top, so the breath is slow. And exhaling the time it takes your hands to come down to your lower chest and settle for a moment. So you're coming to your own speed, so Bear's a little bit slower than me because he's not talking. So that's great. So you come to your own speed with this. I can feel this is starting to clear my morning lungs. You're welcoming in that lovely life-bringing, life-giving air. Keep going. I'm going to open the door to let some fresher air in. It's a beautiful morning. Shoulders softening. So we're getting the shoulders moving, shoulder blades. So as your arms come up, you might become aware of the movement of your shoulder blades, where they settle down into your upper back. The wind's just closed the door. So moving the shoulder blades, so they get really kind of stuck. Whole of the upper back can get really rigid. And then this time leaving your hands on your chest. If you can close your eyes, then that's great. And just notice the breath. Notice the movement in your rib cage. As you exhale, your rib cage drops. And as you inhale, it becomes wider and lifts a little. So with your arms relaxing down when you're by your sides, shift your weight over into your left foot, unpeel your right foot, and take a little step forward with your right foot. So it's perhaps a small normal foot step forward, and both of your feet have stayed parallel. So check that back foot is parallel. So feeling down through the back heel.
Sorry.
So your back heel. So if you feel a bit wobbly doing this, you can take your right foot, your front foot, out to the side a little bit, so you have a squarer, firmer base. Dropping down through your back heel.
And hips forward.
And your hips are facing forward. Yeah, you can put your hands on your hips. And starting to bend your right knee now over towards your right middle toe. And you can feel your hips kind of sliding forwards. And we're doing warrior one. So both of the feet really well grounded, feeling the bones of the feet dropping into the ground. So don't let that back heel lift. So that's your anchor. And then your weight is shifted into the front. And then slowly lifting the arms again. So opening the front of the body, opening the armpits, and also opening down into the front of the hip of the back leg. So feeling this opening in here. Feeling the breath moving. So the same breathing that we did when we were moving our arms. So it's slowly in and slowly out. So you might like to breathe in through your nose. That helps to slow the in-breath down. And then exhaling through soft lips can feel very relaxing. It helps to relax the jaw. So you've got a nice slack jaw. And then bringing the arms down and bending the back knee now, lifting the heel, and then that gives us something to spring back from, so we can take that front leg back, and we'll shift our weight over into the right foot now, sinking that foot into the ground as the left foot steps forward. Just a nice step, and then again out to the side just a little bit if you feel that you need that extra stability. Grounding through the back heel, the back leg is strong, down through the back of the whole leg into the heel as the left knee bends forward over towards the middle toe. So you're not collapsing the knee in, you're not collapsing it out. It's nicely central, aligned is the word. Keeping the back heel down and then slowly lifting the arms. So if you look down at your knee, it hasn't kind of overshot your foot too much. I'll show you what that looks like sideways. And then you're opening in the armpits, opening into the front of the hip of the right leg, so front right hip opening, all those lymph nodes there. And that lovely slow breath. So it looks like we're not doing anything, which is a bit tricky when you're doing a video, but we're breathing. This is slow yoga. Finding the breath, finding the ground, and then we get a lovely release up the front of the body, opening, and then relaxing the arms down, bending the knees, so lifting the back heel, and then stepping back, lovely, and standing with your feet perhaps slightly further away from each other. I'm going to roll down into a forward bend. So let's start by dropping the chin and just leaving your head hanging there for a moment. Your arms are down by your sides, nice relaxed shoulders. Feeling any tightness in the back of the neck, releasing down. And then bending the knees and allowing your head to lead the way as you roll down just a little bit further, so your arms are hanging away from you and you're feeling that curve in the upper back as you start to roll down. So you can take as long as you need, and keeping the knees bent keeps this safe in the lower back. If you have heart problems or high blood pressure, then you shouldn't do this, but it's safe for pregnancy, again as long as you haven't got high blood pressure. And then you start to roll down, exploring that curve in the spine from the top of the neck all the way around to the tail. So if you're doing this with us, you can't see what we're doing. So listening to my instructions and breathing nice and smoothly, and you might start to feel some movement in your back and side ribs as your breath expands your lungs, expands your rib cage, and then relaxes as you exhale. To come up safely, bend your knees, feel your feet being pulled down into the ground, keep your head hanging and start to uncurl up through that beautiful curve in your spine. Your feet stay dropping, your chins drop down to your collarbones, and your head is the last thing to come up. And you've arrived back in Tadasana, bringing your hands onto your chest again, and spend a moment following that lovely soft breath. And we could end this with a few rounds of breath with the lotus mudra. So as you inhale, your hands open. As you exhale, your hands close. Breathing in